So members of the public, we just have to go into a quick closed session. We will be back.
When council says it's going in camera, suddenly the public is ushered out of chambers and the video feed cuts to a holding screen. That's because in camera is a legal term that means in private. So when council goes in camera, what they mean is off camera. But are they still on record? Record? Consider this, Calgary. According to a 2017 report, Calgary City Council spent 23.7% of its meeting session time in private during the 2013-2017 term, which was an increase from the previous term of 19%. The report states that council met in camera over 700 times during that period, totaling approximately 267 hours.
Why don't I take a motion to recess early and return in camera?
Council members used in-camera meetings to discuss confidential matters permitted by the Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act, known as FOIP.
Perhaps the biggest concern, rather than the biggest takeaway, would be the time spent in camera. Again, partially that's a function of the way that the council operates, but going into camera 748 times, while Toronto did 18 and Ottawa did 1, suggests not necessarily that something is wrong, but that the way that council functions is very different than other councils.
Unfortunately, at the moment there is no comparative information on the amount of private in-camera meetings during Mayor Jyoti Gondek's tenure. However, you would wonder why a council majority that doesn't seem to care much about residents' privacy would be so keen on theirs. Oh, maybe because in-camera meetings or closed meetings, while not being public, are also not on record. And it's primarily the responsibility of the council themselves to ensure that in-camera meetings are not being misused. But why does that transparency, or lack thereof, matter? Well, it promotes accountability and provides information for citizens about what their government is doing. It is fundamental to good governance, fostering public trust by providing insight into decision-making processes, especially in matters of property transactions and land acquisitions regarding publicly owned land.
Yeah, I just want to confirm. My understanding is that council approved the disposition of non-market land sales, that this was part of the tranche of at council on November 1st of 2022. Am I correct in that? I believe it went through IPC and was discussed in camera, and I believe it was on the consent agenda and we all approved it.
Before we go down this path, we are not talking about the disposition of this. This is about a land use today. The details of the real estate transaction that has taken place between the applicant and the City of Calgary is not party to this land use.
So has the transaction been completed?
The City of Calgary currently owns the parcel on title. The method, sale, etc. of this parcel is between the applicant and the Real Estate and Development Services Department.
Okay, well, I think there's an issue with that, but I will stop there.
Transparency empowers public participation, allowing community members to share their views on important local issues, and to comply with the Municipal Government Act, ensuring that elected officials are held responsible for their actions and that decisions reflect the community's actual needs.
This parcel was originally zoned up to 4 units as RC2. After blanket rezoning, it was approved, which was approved in April. It would be allowed for 30 units. The application you see in front of you is up to 50, increased to 46 units on this parcel. It would have been allowed for 2 to 3 stories and now proposed for 5. This is about a community playground that's going to 50 units. The applicant, I feel, has been set up for failure by the city.
So, when council decides to move in camera private meetings, they jeopardize public trust, accountability, engagement, informed decision-making, democratic principles, and legislative requirements laid out in the Municipal Government Act. So how has this last council's in-camera frequency trended? We will just have to wait and see. Until then, consider this, Calgary.
I'm sorry this was a playground for many years. It was here for a good time, but not forever. And now it's going to do what we've collectively agreed and what is the law of the land in terms of what it should be doing.